that brings up an interesting thing because we've talked on here a few times before about like getting servers educated to talk about beer,
Yes.
like how to do that, um, because especially post COVID or during COVID, like you're getting some people who, like a lot of people went away, and you're getting 19-year-olds who've never had a stout before trying to sell
Yeah.
beer to people. What
Yep.
is like how is your staff with selling the cocktails to guests? Like how do they do? And then like what do you do to help coach them up on these craft cocktails that they're in a lot of cases they need to do the selling of that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember, so this is just kind of a side story. I remember when I was a server at this Italian restaurant, I was 20 years old. I didn't really drink wine, and I had a table ask me what White Zinfandel we had. They had a wine list in front of them. They didn't want to read it. And me being 20, I was like, I don't know.
Can I
I was
look at
like,
that
look,
menu there that you're holding?
yeah, I'm like, look at the wine list. And I remember my general manager pulling me aside and being like, you are selling the product. You need to know the product. If you can't learn the product, you're not going to serve. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Um, but it's true. I mean, guests don't always know what they're looking for or what they want. And if you don't know what you're carrying, then you're not going to make a sale, period.
Hmm.
So I do have most of the serving staff has been there for quite some time. They're pretty trained, and they know how to sell the product. I have, like right now, I have canned beer from our patio bar that we're trying to get rid of. So we have it on special. We have $3 canned beer specials. So I have a lot of the servers when they go up to their tables, they just kind of give their spiel, and then they just say, here's the drink menu. If you're looking for specials, we do have $3 canned beers, right here on the menu. Um, so a lot of the staff is pretty well trained and versed in how to make that sale.
Hmm.
But I do have, like you said, some younger staff who they're, 18, 19, 20 years old. They don't have a sophisticated palate if they're drinking underage. And they just don't know, like you said, craft beers. There's so much out there. So my general rule of thumb when I talk to them, I say because we have 40 beers on tap, and that's a lot for
Right.
someone who doesn't legally drink alcohol to try and learn and commit to
Hmm.
memory all the different styles, especially with things like IPAs.
Yeah.
So you have hazy, not hazy, East Coast, West Coast, bitter, hoppy, citrus, all that stuff. So I tell the servers, I'm like, 2 to 3 hazy IPAs, singles or doubles that sell well, commit those to memory, learn what the flavors are in those IPAs,
Hmm.
take 2 not hazy IPAs and do the same thing. And just, if you need to make a note in your server book, whatever it is, just have a couple so you can regurgitate that to the customer. And if they don't like the couple that you've suggested, then you can say, I'm happy to help you look through the beer menu and find something that you
That's
would
gonna work
want.
for you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also just knowing what's trending
Yeah.
in those craft scenes where some breweries are kind of dying out and they're not really as popular as they used to be, where others are new and up and coming, and people are like, oh, you have that on tap? And
Hmm.
that's all you have to say. Like, I have other half. Oh, what other half do you have?
Hmm.
So try and teach the servers things like that, just little tricks to have where they don't
Yeah.
have to commit all 40 beers to memory,
Yeah, I
but
think
just,
the last time I talked to somebody about this, they said almost the exact same thing. Like,
yeah.
know which one, like if there's anything new that just tapped, like check about that,
Yep.
like people like that. Know what's selling well, 'cause you can just say, "Oh,
Yep.
people are really liking this," and then like have one that you like, whether it's even just for the can or the tap handle art. Like if you have those three, you can make a sale.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
What about, so that's for the beer. How about for the cocktails? Is it, do you run into the same challenge with folks or with the servers, I mean?
Um, Kind of, yeah. So like it's funny because one of my cocktails is called a pour tracker, and I think it's Sam Adams has a pour tracker.
Oh.
So my server the other day, the customer was like, "Oh, I'll take a pour tracker," and she came up to the bar and she goes, "Where's the pour tracker under the draft beers?" And I was like, "Oh no," I was like, "It's a specialty cocktail," and she's like, "Oh, doesn't Sam have a?" I'm like, "I'm shocked you know that. Like you're 19," and she's like, "I could have sworn I've seen my mom drink it before." And so I just was like, "Oh no, I made it a cocktail because it's the lemony, whatever, because that's how Sam is, whatever." Um, so yeah, I do kind of. We also have a whiteboard in the server station, so
Okay.
we'll tend to write notes over there for the servers. Whatever has been 86 that week off the draft list, or
Right.
cocktail menu, whatever's new. I also put like a little asterisk on the whiteboard, and it's just like kind of a reminder to go check the draft menus, the specialty cocktails, talk to the bartender. If you're of age, ask for a sample of something so that you can actually taste it and know what you're
Mm-hmm.
selling. Because even if there's things like there are some style beers that I don't care for, but I'm still
Mm-hmm.
going to taste it so that I know what flavors are
Right.
in it and I can tell the customers that. Because every once in a while you do get your craft beer connoisseur who's just kind of next level extreme and they're just like they pick out the tiniest flavor profile of a craft beer that no one tastes,
Mm-hmm.
but they want you to know that.
Yeah.
So if you can match their level of knowledge, they're more likely to give you a better tip because they're like, "Oh, you're on my level. I like that,"
Yeah. Or
kind
if
of
you can
thing.
somehow flatter those people, that tends to work pretty well too.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Those are
Flattery goes a
those
long
kind of
way.
people.
Yeah.
Um, do you guys do samples of the specialty cocktails at like do you have a staff meeting when the seasons turn over to try to introduce them to the staff?
I try to, yeah. So when the shifts I work, first of all, if I ever get beer samples from reps. I like to have tastings with my staff
Mm-hmm.
because, like I said, everybody has a different flavor profile or taste profile. So something that I really like, one of my servers could think is absolutely disgusting and vice versa. So I like to get everybody's input so I can get a general, you know, vote on most people like it, everybody hates it, kind of thing. And I'll do that with the specialty cocktails too. As I'm mixing and making stuff, I have my staff taste it because, again, sometimes the liquor is something that I don't love the taste of, but I
Mm-hmm.
know how to mix it with stuff. So maybe somebody else really likes it, even though I made it and I don't really care for it. So I
Right.
try to get everybody's input. And then once it gets into the menu, if somebody hasn't tasted it, I will make a sample of it for them for sure.
Nice. Okay. And how much coaching are you having to do for describing it for the like to tell servers how to describe it? Because it sounds like you're the expert in a lot of these cases.
I mean, I try and keep it pretty simple. A lot of the things like we had this one cocktail on it was a shark bite, and it's rum, grenadine, pineapple juice, Sprite, blue curacao, so very, very sweet. So like
Mm-hmm.
typically you're going to get your younger crowd that's going to like that, or if you ask a customer, do you prefer sweeter drinks,
Yeah.
more savory drinks, drier, what do you typically drink at home, or what do you like to order when you go out to other restaurants?
Yeah.
Kind of engage the customer in that way, and then you can say, because if a customer said they drink um, dirty martinis, I'm not going to suggest the shark bite that's super
Yeah,
super sweet when
totally.
you prefer olive juice.
Right.
So, yeah, I try to get the servers and the rest of the staff to kind of get that out of their customers.
Yeah. Well, cool. Um, Now looking, so the next season will turn over winter holiday type stuff. When do you start getting into the test bar and start thinking about what you're going to do next? Are you already looking at Pinterest for the winter?
Oh yeah, always. I have a whole board with cocktails I started a year ago,
Nice.
that I'll reference and I'll just keep forever. But yeah, I mean, I've already started looking at winter stuff because I think of right now. I think of apple and pumpkin kind of are the main up
Yep.
until Thanksgiving. And then
Mm-hmm.
after Thanksgiving, it's kind of You can do cranberry, pomegranate, pear. You can add in the savory, like rosemary, thyme kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that kind of takes you from Thanksgiving to Christmas to the new year.
Hmm. Is there anything
Yeah.
you're excited about? Is there any new ones that you're just like, man, I can't wait to make this?
I like bourbon. So I'm gonna make a blackberry puree and I'm gonna do a blackberry bourbon smash of some
Mm,
kind.
that sounds good.
Um, yeah, I like old fashions. I like playing with bitters. I think Fee Brothers, out of Rochester, we have
Oh, is
has a
that where they're from?
really eclectic.
That's
Yeah,
cool. I have a bunch of those
um,
downstairs in my house here.
yeah, they're from Rochester. I love it. So they have such a variety of flavors with their bitters,
Hmm.
and I love playing with all that. Last year we had a what did I call it? It was did I call it an old fashioned or a Manhattan? It was a screwball, the peanut butter whiskey, and then I did chocolate bitters,
Oh yeah.
and um, I think I did an old fashioned with it. Yeah, I think I did the um, cherry orange chocolate and peanut butter. I may have omitted the orange. It may have just been cherry, peanut butter, and chocolate. I'm drawing a blank right now,
Mm,
but I did something of that like flavor concoction, and that was really good.
that sounds
Um,
great.
yeah,
It sounds
so
real nice. I'm
love
saying this
playing
because
with
it's like
bourbon.
it's cold here today.
Yeah,
I
same.
live
I
in
know.
Madison, Wisconsin now, and it's just
Oh, okay.
rainy and cold. It's
Yeah,
changed. It's over.
we've got sun at least, which is shocking for Rochester this time of year, but it's cold out. Yeah. Yep.
Um, do you, is it okay with you? Anything more to say about cocktails, or move on to
Not in
the
particular. I mean, I could go on about cocktails all day long,
yeah?
but nothing that we haven't really talked about. I just
Is
like
there
cocktails.